Hello everybody and welcome to the Houge Room channel once again. Sorry I've been, content has been a bit lean to come out lately. I've got no shortage of projects, but everything is waiting on bits and bobs, and I kind of got myself to a point where I had a little too much to do for a while there and lost focus on getting this content out to you. I was so focused on gathering content, kind of forgot about the part about getting it to you. So today we're actually going to do something or look at something quite special, and it's actually quite new to me. Those of you guys who follow or know me personally know that I'm primarily a Tamiya collector, but I have, stepped into the associated world time and again. I've got two A stamps sitting on the shelf right there. I've got a restored T3 sitting up high out of your sight, and I've got also out of your sight is a RC10 GT. So that, I thought that kind of rounded out my associated collection until I got to talking to a friend of mine, and while over at his house, something caught the corner of my eye, and it was this. And this is a Houge RC10. So we're gonna get the camera around. I'm gonna show this to you guys. I can't tell you how pleased I am to have this in the collection, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I'm gonna do with it and why it is I'm going to do what it is that I'm going to do. So let's get this camera turned around and I can show you the car a little closer. Okay, now that we've got you in at a little tighter angle, let's show you what I ended up with here in my acquisition. First of all, I want to open up by saying that I got this car from a buddy who's really kind of, I've known him for a lot of years, and we've gotten along for a lot of years, and the moral of the story is that I ended up with this because he wanted to see it go into a collection where it would be appreciated and displayed and not hidden away, really not being enjoyed by anybody. So I made an offer, and I ended up with the car, and I assured the gentleman from whom I got it, who will go unnamed because it's nobody's business, I assured the gentleman that it would stay in my collection, that this car would not be offered up for sale at any point, and that it will remain a part of a collection and not, fall by the wayside. So what I ended up picking up was not only this awesome Houge, but the Magnum PCM 1024, which a lot of you guys know was the absolute bee's knees back in the day. This was the thing, the transmitter to have. Additionally, the pack that came in the car are these Sanyo 2000 milliamp packs, which the number is strictly a coincidence, but it kind of dates the car. He last recalls really running this car competitively right around the 2000s. So that means that this thing was relevant for a lot of years. Now, basically what we have is we have a flat composite chassis, and it looks like three laminates, three layers, probably fiberglass, but surprisingly stiff. Now, what Houge has done is we've got aluminum front control arms. We've got their proprietary caster block. We've got the Houge chassis, of course, the Houge bell crank, which we could see is a much highly simplified version of what you would have seen on the RC10, as well as a shorty high-speed servo. Novak, Speedo, and ECU, or Speedo and receiver, which I think is awesome because for those of you who don't know, one day there'll be a video, but I have a rather extensive collection of vintage Novak electronics. I just think they look cool. Out back, we actually have an RPM diff, which is super duper unique, and what appears to be a Reedy Rage stock motor. Now, if you look, even on the rear trailing arms, Guys, this thing is farm fresh. There is still track dirt all over this thing. And that brings me to my ultimate plan of what I'm going to do with this car. And that plan is to do absolutely nothing at all. I do a ton of restorations. I watch a lot of you lot who are YouTubers. I watch your restoration videos. I enjoy them. I think it's great. But I fear for the future of a lot of models in that, you know, if every one of them out there gets restored, you're not going to have any originals. You're not going to have anything that's quote unquote, you know, farm fresh or barn fresh for that matter. You know, that A stamp that's up there has never been restored. It's a survivor car. The one under it is a little rougher, so I'm going to go ahead and restore it just because it isn't a prime example of the model in its current condition. So by that rationale, I will go ahead and restore the bottom one. The top one stays as it is. This, I think, is just a time capsule. This epitomizes what somebody would have done with aftermarket parts and an appropriate budget to be competitive and to be unique. And I feel like if I went through and I, you know, clashed this thing up and did the peroxide treatment on the wheels and all of that stuff, I kind of feel like something would be lost. I feel like you'd lose that sense of what it was like, you know, as you were the day that you were headed out to the track or returning home from the track. I don't know if you can see, but these pinspike tires are like in brand new condition. So too are the front runners, and that's because this gentleman competed with the car. It actually, he had a series of trophies on the wall under the car, which I might photograph and put in its cell. Just photograph his trophies and put them in the cell with the car. Because again, this was for competition use. This wasn't played with in a driveway, this probably never even touched tarmac. This probably left his shop and then was set down on a racetrack, raced, lifted up, put back on his pit mat, worked on, and so on and so forth, but likely never played with in the front yard. Now, in a rather charming, maybe I'm using, no, I'm not using the wrong wording. In a rather cool turn of events, the day that I was slated to come pick this car up, he kind of wanted to, well, whatever. I'm a sentimental guy, so I can certainly understand. I'm waffling on. The day that he went to turn this car over to me, he went ahead and charged up the pack, plugged it in, went ahead and charged up the transmitter pack, plugged it in, and I have video of this car taken just days ago being run around on his living room carpet. So I think it's absolutely as cool as can be that he went ahead and had his last play with it before turning it over to me ultimately to go into my collection. And I might do the same thing. I might charge this guy up and just ever so lightly go out and have a play with it just so that I can say that I've driven, you know, the real deal Houge RC10. But that's it. So this is the new addition to the collection. Now what I want out of you guys is, if you would, in addition to the like, subscribe, notification bell, all that other stuff that I, you know, desperately need you guys to do to help me grow this channel, I want you guys to leave comments down below. This is a learning process for me, guys. I'm not going to pretend to know anything or everything about this car. I have a huge amount of education ahead of me before I truly understand Houge as a company and when exactly they were relevant, price points of their stuff at the time. All of this is information that I'm looking for. So if you have it, guys, please take a moment out of your time and comment below. Leave me with some info, because again, it's as cool as can be. It's going to join its A-stamp cousins or brothers up there, and yeah, so that's it. There's the there's your Houge RC10. Oh, I did want to say that I believe that the original, this is not confirmed nor denied, but I believe that the original donor car for this, and actually, let me touch on that. Is actually an Edinger, because the car came with an Edinger RC10 box. But just to give you guys a real quick summation here, as best as I can tell, of an original RC10, you know, stuff that would have come in your RC10 kit. The uprights look to be original RC10 uprights. The servo mount, these two little nylon blocks here, and the antenna appear to be original RC10. I think the fiberglass battery hold down was an aftermarket hop-up. I don't know. The rear shock tower is awfully short, and the body mount is custom. In fact, the body sits so low on this that the servo horn actually protrudes out the top. Now, I've left the body out of the equation because the body kind of is a bit of a giveaway as to who owned this before. And once again, it's just not anybody's business. And with the transmission being an RPM, I don't see any really any components of an original RC10 here. It's got CV drives, it's got the Houge trailing arms, it's got the Houge control arms, it's got the Houge chassis, the Houge steering, the Houge caster block, the bumper. I don't exactly know what it is, but it's not an original RC10 bumper. Maybe the wire for the wing is original RC10, so there's not a lot of the original car left here. But once again, I'm waffling on, and that's what I want out of you guys. Comment down below. Let me know, first of all, what's sitting here. Tell me your Houge stories. Did you have one? Did you get your butt whooped by one at the track? Did you see them flourish? Did you see them struggle? I'm curious to know. So there we go, guys. There's the Houge. And once again, like, subscribe, hit bells. Thanks for watching, and go on and enjoy your weekend.